Hi, I'm Daniel Mullen, and you're watching Purebred Reds, Adelaide United Fan TV.
Standing here with George after the 2-0 win against Central Coast. I'll go straight toward George. Is this possibly the biggest snatch and grab you've seen since, I don't know when, to be honest?
It's pretty lucky to get away with it at the end. They were all over us. And we just lacked a lot of inspiration. There was nothing. We couldn't get in behind them. We couldn't do anything. But look, credit to Verbeek for trying to change things around. At least he didn't stick with plan A. He moved to a bit of a different way of playing. But yeah, pretty lucky to get away with it. But hey, 3 points is 3 points. So okay.
I'm glad you brought up the formation change. So going to what looked like a 3-5-2. Does he almost consider this going forward now? I mean, particularly if the injuries continue to pile up and we don't get players back. Certainly looked a lot better with a 3-5-2 in that second half than the usual 4-3-3 to begin the game. What do you make of it? Does he almost persist with this? Because we look better off with it.
I think it's more. I'd be sticking with the 4-3-3, and even I think we did slip back into it a little bit in the second half, but. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why he didn't give Abtu a go at fullback. The reason we won that game wasn't because of the change in personnel. It was honestly just 2 minutes of just bang bang. They were still all over us. They still had their chances. We really struggled to get in behind. We really struggled in that final third. I thought really Riley was the only one picking up the ball and facing forward, which is a bit concerning. You just had a lot of boys just playing down the line. So I don't know. I think obviously with injuries and stuff like that, it's an issue. But once we get those boys back, I think we'll be all right.
If he is the sort of masterful tactician that he's perceived as being on the occasion, how the hell is he going to shoehorn every player into that midfield? Because when Mirko Bowen came in tonight, I thought it was really, really good. I thought he actually changed the game. I think we said that amongst ourselves during the game, sitting up in the stands. So considering Mirko's fit now, Teresa can't be that far off, and you've got Stefan Mork playing a makeshift position at right back today when they're all midfielders, along with obviously the sensational Lou Dorigo, another great game from him tonight. How the hell is this going to work out?
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have. I'd be keeping Dorigo at 6, so I can't believe he's 18 still. And then obviously Troisi is a quality player, and then the other position, the 8, is probably going to be, well then you're going to play McGree, so it's going to be Troisi, McGree and Dorigo, unless you drop Dorigo for a Boland or for a Mork, but I don't think that would be the case. I honestly think Mork was probably signed with future seasons in mind, seeing that we're probably going to be losing a few players at the end of this year. So
some people might say that we overhyped our Hassan Toure, and then he sort of had a few down games after his bursting on the scene moment in that FA Cup final. Are we in danger of doing the same with his younger brother after tonight? Fantastic cameo, scored a goal, literally with his first touch, immediately just looked more positive than any other player on the pitch tonight and really got us going. How careful do we have to be about overhyping Mohammed?
Just keep, obviously he's great, it was so great to see him score. And last week he did some really good things, but he's just a kid. I'd actually be more interested to see how we'll play in the local NPL comp this year, because obviously we'll play a few games with the reserves, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes with the bigger bodies, and everything will be good for him, and what he's doing now is great, but let's just keep a lid on it a little bit. But yeah, I think he's going to be a great player if he keeps doing what he's doing, but you can still see it, he's very raw, he's very raw, he's trying to do things they probably could have got away with in juniors, and then you can't do it against the bigger bodies, but obviously the future's very bright. So
sometimes you need those green players that just try things though, and he's a perfect example of that tonight. Lastly, can we get a result away to Western Sydney on Friday night?
I think we can get a result against any team in the country. It's just if the team turns up and does it. Yeah, of course they're not in the best vein of form. They're going to be very underdone with the games getting postponed and the buys and all that kind of stuff. So of course we can get a result. It's just whether the 11 that we saw a couple of weeks ago against Victory turn up, or the one that played tonight turn up. So we'll see what happens.
Brilliant. Thanks for speaking to us as always, Georgie.
My pleasure, mate. My pleasure.
Standing here with Reece, 80 minutes of just some of the worst stuff we've ever seen at this ground, and then 10 minutes of utter delirium. I think the biggest cheer of the night, without question, to begin with, was Mohamed Toure coming on, and then obviously it went completely bonkers when he scored the second goal to cap the game off and get 3 vital points for us. But geez, for that first 80 minutes, what the hell was going on?
No, I couldn't agree more. Great to see another Toure amongst the goals. Here's to a successful Toure era, hopefully.
Where do we go from here? Because if Riley didn't sort of just turn it on towards the end there, and obviously George Blackwood as well was a fantastic goal to put us up 1-0. You're scratching your head as to how we even came away with a draw tonight.
Yeah, especially if we don't have a few, of these injured faces back. I think we were really, really hampered by not having a right back. It looked like, Mork tried his best, and I've never seen him play there before. I think it throws the whole balance of the team out, and especially that confidence. Like I kind of understand why we're not throwing plays forward when we're that fragile at the back. So I get it. That'd be where I start. Otherwise, who knows?
How much longer do you give Christian Opseth? Very lifeless display tonight. He's had his chances. I know he hasn't played every game, but another I think 80 minutes tonight, and came up with very, very little. At what point do you cut your losses and look to either persist with Blackwood as the 9 next season, or start looking abroad for someone to replace Opseth next season? Because when you're not scoring goals and when you're not actually contributing to goals being scored, how the hell do you justify being a part of this team?
Yeah, well, forget about next season for now, but for the remainder of this season, I'd be putting Blackwood in as my number 9. I think they're just as good as holding the ball up, and as evidence over the last month or so, Blackwood's the one scoring the goals, so yeah, it's a no-brainer for me.
Why, in your opinion, in the first 15 minutes in particular, did we just look so jaded? It just looked like there was zero confidence between the back four. I know Stefan Mork was coming in to play right back, which he's not a right back, but Maria, Elsie had some shaky moments, even Jakobsen, to be fair. Just looked all over the place. This is the one game where that should not be happening.
But at the same time, this is the one game it does happen because I think they think that we can get away with it. Like if we, mentally, I don't think we come out looking that shaky against the victory because everyone's G'd up and ready to go. And if we did do that, it's 3-4-0 and it's game over. So I think, maybe it's a mental thing.
Are you confident about Wanderers on Friday night? Don't really know what to expect from them. They did beat the Mariners, but then they've had a bye since then, and then the Sydney Derby after that obviously rained out. So they might be a bit short of a run, but in any case, what do you make of our chances going over there on Friday night?
Honestly, God knows. I have no idea. So wait and see. Catch me on the next Fancam, I guess.
Thanks for speaking to us, Reece.
Thanks, mate.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, I'll say. Look, in the end, 3 points is all that matters, but it was not. I know this is earmarked as a potential banana slip game, and that is what it looked like being. But 80 minutes to forget, I'd say, but a memorable last 10, definitely, and we're going to remember that for a long time, isn't it? We got injuries galore, and just not really. It seems like, bar a couple players, it's like everybody hits form at the same time and then nobody hits form. I just get that feeling like in previous years we've had sort of a few players hit form and then a few players don't, but this time I just feel it's like, apart from really McGree, to be honest with you, Blackwood was good in moments, but really I just feel like the whole team either performs or the whole team doesn't at the moment. And so you're right, we do have a bit of a dilemma coming up to Wanderers because, in my opinion, I don't want to see this 11. We've had injuries, but I personally want to see Boland starting. He's 2 games in a row. I thought he's looked really good off the bench. I don't want to see Toure starting because I just don't see him ready. This is Mohamed Toure. Even though he had another great cameo off the bench, I just don't think he's ready to start. But it was a really uninspired performance tonight. And I just don't know what I don't know how to drive these players, because it's just tough when we're playing Mariners, who are like one of the most out of form sides in the country, and it's more than an end-to-end game. I'd say they have more than good chances to score compared to us, but I suppose again, lucky to get 3 points. I didn't think he did too badly, to be honest. I reckon I got the impression that Verbeek told him not to overlap, because I didn't see him going forward very much. I saw him go forward once and he actually swapped with Halloran, so there was no sort of overlapping move. I didn't think he did too badly. Hopefully we have Moroney back next week. I think Strain's injured. It's a muscular problem, and I know Moroney had a knock to his abdomen that was causing him some problems, but fingers crossed Moroney comes back next week, because now we're in a bit of a dilemma. We've got a problem, because we have no right back unless you play Yarabich. No disrespect to the kid, I know he's a centre half because I watched him at NPL. He didn't do too well against Melbourne City at the start of the season. I think he should be playing as number 2 or number 3. He should be playing as a centre half, not a right back. But I'm just going to hope that we get a right back, to be honest, because I have no clue what we should do. I absolutely think that Opseth should be dropped, to be honest. You know what? I'm always the type of person who is willing to give players chances and chances and chances and chances. He just keeps proving that he's not up for the task. I'm sorry to say that. George Blackwood had a moment where he just thought, I'm going to take this on. It's high stakes. It was in the 81st minute. And he thought to myself, I'm outside the box, I'm going to take this on and see what happens. And we don't see that from Opseth. I couldn't give a damn if George Blackwood's shot ended up in the top row. He decided in that moment that he was going to take it on and he was going to shoot. And I haven't seen that from Opseth. I haven't seen him where he's on the ball and he just thought, okay, you know what? Effort, I'm going to shoot. And what do we get out of him now? George Blackwood is, in my opinion, in form. He got 2 assists against Western Melbourne a couple of weeks back. He scored an absolute screamer today, and he was sort of in and out of the game today in moments. But look, he scored the goal. He's doing okay, and I think that Opseth is not doing okay. And Blackwood needs to be up at number 9, and probably want to see Boland in midfield, to be honest. I think we can win. I'll relay. I'll echo something that George, just another guest who was on Purebred Reds just now, said. I just think it depends on which 11 sort of turns up, whether it's the 11 that beat Melbourne Victory a while back or it's the 11 tonight. Because if we go out there completely uninspired, not really willing to make anything, not really willing to go the extra mile, apart from like McGree when he was on the field, then no, we're not going to win. And we're going to see another dull performance like we did against Brisbane last week. But if we want to go out there and actually want to have some grit and go and win the second balls and really run for it, then yeah, I think we can, because their Wanderers they're as much of a mixed bag as we are, but I'd say that they get less results than we do. But both teams, you don't know what you're going to get out of them, and so I'm just fingers crossed we get the right 11, we get the right attitude in the game.